Hi, I'm Karis Benjamin. I'm here with Gloria Steinem at the 2011 Sundance Film Festival. My question for you is, when you were growing up, what did you want to be when you grew up, and what were your aspirations?
At first, I wanted to be a writer. I was in love with Louisa May Alcott. But as I got older, I realized I didn't see any women who were writers. So because only show business was the place I saw women who were doing something different, I thought that was my only choice. And so I learned to tap dance, and given my lack of talent for it too, it was not very practical. So I do think I'm an illustration of we do what we see. And so I understand how terribly important it is that young women and young men see that the whole range of human activity is open to them, which I did not see.
I'm sure I speak for all of my fellow journalists in saying that you are such an inspiration to aspiring feminists. Were there any women in particular that helped inspire you?
Not when I was growing up. I just didn't see that. There was Eleanor Roosevelt, but I didn't think I was going to marry a president. There was Louisa May Alcott, but she was no longer living. So it wasn't until very much later, and I think I was lucky in one way, which was I really didn't go to school until I was about 12. And because I wasn't brainwashed the other way, I read everything, and I just assumed that people could write everything. And it was only after I was 12 that I learned that that wasn't the case, and then had to wait still longer until I began to see women who were successful journalists.
What is the biggest challenge you've had to overcome?
The first challenge was being taken seriously, because it was something of a joke. Women and children can't be serious. Really, when I got to the point of serious opposition, I thought it was a step forward from ridicule. What helped me the most was to always have at least a small group of women, and ever larger really, who let each other know we weren't crazy and that it was serious. Because we're communal creatures, us human beings, and I don't think we can do it all by ourselves. So it's very important for a group that's marginal to have at least a small group in which you're central, so you can keep going.
I want to seek advice from you as a much more experienced feminist. Some people in my generation, as I've heard you say about your generation, don't take feminism seriously, and have even said that feminists are sexist, or that our cause has been, the battle has been won. What advice can you give to those of us who want to keep fighting? How can we respond to those people?
First, we can look at reality instead of the image, because actually more women and men identify now as feminists than ever before in history. So the idea that it's over, or it's past, or nobody, or it's a bad word is really not true. More women self-identify as feminists than as Republicans.
Wow.
And as many as Democrats, And also there are other wonderful words. There's womanist, which is a great word. There's women's liberationist. There's feminista, So, the point is the content. But it's really just a form of opposition, to say that it's over. The first form of opposition in my life was to say it's not necessary, and it's against nature, God, Freud, something, right? The second form of opposition is to say, well, it used to be necessary, but it's not anymore. That's what's happening to you. And both were wrong.